if you're Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, you've always got your eye on the next book. It's as simple as that. You're always looking at the next sort of, well, what can you do to make some money? That is exactly now how they make their living. And I'm not being unkind, this is the way forward for them. They had all of those wonderful opportunities, but Meghan, coming from a background where she feels, as she openly claimed, allegedly on that tour of South Africa, she couldn't believe she wasn't getting paid to meet people. I don't know where that came from, because who would have paid to meet her prior to her being in the British monarchy? Doesn't make sense really, does it? But there you go. What's interesting now, though, is it looks like after their spectacular success of their docu-series, both Meghan and, of course, Harry may think they've found the perfect opportunity to move their direction of Archbold Productions in yet another way forward. As ever, though, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Nice to see you. Let's have a big wave wherever you are today. Nice and sunny, isn't it? Lovely. By the way, I found this. Well, somebody sent me this, should I say, and I wanted to thank them. But what's interesting here is, look at that. Yeah, Miss World game. Now, this was a big success, apparently, in the 1970s. Up there with the top 10 board games. You could dress Miss World, look at the outfits, pretend to win, become a runner-up. Can you imagine that being put out today? Will be like Miss Transgender World, wouldn't it? Ridiculous, when you think about it. You just kind of think how these people have crushed so much fun, don't get me going. Let me know what you think to Miss World, the board game, in the comments below. Give us all a good giggle, wouldn't it, today? Back as ever, though, to your breaking roll story of the day. As we know, Prince Harry turned up into London. Bit of a shock last week. Lots of people were stunned at his arrival. No need to be here. But obviously, the bottom line is people think that, or should I say, he thinks that people want to see him, and how serious he's taking this litigation case. But according to a very good source, there's a real reason behind his return back. And during that court case, let me tell you, all the time he was just taking bits and pieces of notes in this nicely sort of embalmed, encrusted, whatever you want to call it, notebook. Not a cheap one like mine, a very expensive notebook. But there could have been a bigger reason, and according to a very good source, this is it. Both Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are looking at how they can capitalize on their alleged success over with Netflix. Their last episodes, if you like, the Leaders thing, totally bombed, as we told you. Nobody was interested, even though they'd executive produced it. Unless there's some juice and dirt, nobody really is that interested in Harry and Meghan, and that gave them plenty in their docu-series. People have forgotten most of it now. It's like a long-lost episode of Knots Landing or Fulton Crest, isn't it? So now they're looking again at what can they do. And according to a very good source, Prince Harry is open to suggestions about this particular idea. You see, they think they may have something with this court case, seemingly because, of course, there's big names attached, Baroness Lawrence, which is a strange one in itself, because the newspaper that she's attacking is the whole same newspaper that did so much to bring justice for her son. Baffling there, as you can imagine. Sir Elton John, the ivory keyboard player and the Mrs. Mills of our generation, he's in the frame, as is bikini model Elizabeth Hurley and a few others. Now, according to a very good source, Netflix think that this may make a very good drama, something that Harry and Meghan could actually executive produce. And after all, he would know it firsthand, wouldn't he? Now, people might say, oh, absolute rubbish, Neil, Well, think of this. Netflix are currently in production with a very flimsy idea based on the interview from the BBC's Emily Maitlis and, of course, the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, for that Newsnight interview. So if they can turn something as flimsy as that into some docudrama, then why not this? And according to that good source, both Harry and Meghan are very keen to see how this develops. Of course, if they won the case, this would truly make it a top drama. Who would play Harry? Who would play Meghan? Yes. Maybe they want to tick boxes, and perhaps somebody like Eddie Izzard could pop up and play Meghan. After all, it's all inclusive, isn't it? But the bottom line, seriously, is this is a reasonable idea that all sides are looking at. But when you think about it, really, when you start to exploit yourself at this level, where do you turn up to, or where do you go from here? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.